vocally and violently. They were primed to become insurgents in a low-grade civil resistance. As predicted, they started with an act of blatant insurrection. Based on Trump's seditious words, his supporters attacked the U.S. Capitol building on January 6, 2021, with the intent to stop the certification of the election by force. Most came to storm the building and to stop the vote. Others may have come to hunt and possibly kill Vice President Mike Pence and Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Only a miracle and the bravery of the Capitol Hill and Washington, D.C. police officers prevented there being more than the 5 deaths that resulted that day. In my role as a counterterrorism expert on MSNBC News, I have a track record of offering well-grounded warnings based on intelligence analyses that have proved uncanny in their accuracy. There is a reason for that. As an intelligence professional, I don't guess. My work is years ahead of most media investigations because I collect hard data and analyze events through the lens of my 30-plus years of intelligence community experience. My career in monitoring, tracking, and destroying foreign threats to America gives me the ability to call out risks and incoming challenges that might not reveal themselves easily to others. That body of knowledge and a natural alacrity at detecting the right pattern means I identify risks faster, more accurately, and with greater depth than the average journalist or amateur web sleuth. In July 2016, I was the first person in U.S. news media to warn that the United States was under attack through a massive political warfare operation using foreign disinformation created by a hostile agency, the Russian Directorate of Military Intelligence, the GRU. This operation corrupted the mindset of more than a third of Americans. It was successful in generating so many false narratives that most journalists looked in the wrong direction not just for the origins of the attack, but to determine Russia's objectives. In my first Trump-Russia scandal book, The Plot to Hack America, How Putin's Cyber Spies and WikiLeaks Tried to Steal the 2016 Election, I accurately predicted the strategy, tactics, players, and foreign intelligence operations that worked to put Donald Trump into the presidency. And I did it 6 weeks before the 2016 election. 2 years later, the Mueller report, a House Intelligence Committee report, a Joint Intelligence Community report, and a Senate Intelligence Committee report all validated every assertion I made. They Want to Kill Americans also has disturbing links to my 2018 book, The Plot to Destroy Democracy, How Putin and His Spies Are Undermining America and Dismantling the West, in which I present cooperative links between Russian-backed European far-right extremists and the new American alt-right. The alt-right is a hodgepodge of American hatred, an unglued assemblage of racist and anti-Semitic neo-Nazis, fascism-loving white supremacists, white evangelical dominionists, and dead-ender Southern neo-Confederates. The alt-right had its international coming out in Charlottesville, Virginia, on August 11th and 12th, 2017, at the Unite the Right rally. Their aim? To show the world America had a serious fascist army that would bring this country into the fight to defend the white race. The right-wing extremists first held a torch-lit night march reminiscent of the Nazis' Nuremberg rallies. The next day, they tore into the lines of liberal protesters and a melee ensued. One alt-right militant drove his car into a crowd of protesters and killed a young woman named Heather Heyer. The youth wing of the conservative movement had made its mark. By evening, all of America, and by extension the world, knew who the alt-right were. At the time, they were all unabashed supporters of President Trump, but the love was not publicly or openly reciprocated until the day of Heather Heyer's death. President Trump knew who they were. They were Trump voters. Instead of condemning their actions, he called them very fine people. The savageness of the national rejection stunned Trump, but it also stunned the alt-right. Seemingly overnight, even the limited public support for their activities disappeared. However, the violence did not. Over the next 2 years, flashes of their pro-Trump extremism would emerge. A series of attacks on synagogues in Pennsylvania and California that killed Jews. An anti-immigrant mass shooting in Texas that massacred Mexican Americans. The mailing of 16 pipe bombs to the Democratic Party leadership in an attempted assassination by Cesar Sayoc, an unabashed Trump supporter.